And we're back. You know, let's redo part one of Proof. No, we got to move forward. We're not going to Prufrock on this. J. Alfred Prufrock. J. Alfred Prufrock, the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, part two. And I've known the eyes already, known them all, the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase. Okay, so let me just reveal to you, if you haven't figured it out yet. Prufrock is he's at some sort of party, thinking about a party. He's thinking about women, right? So that's the sort of basic plot of this poem. However, all of these other things that Eliot imports in are what elevates it to a great poem. So, and I've known the eyes, these are all the women who are looking at him, the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase, putting a label on you. I'm just going to make some, that guy's a jock, that guy's a nerd, he's an emo, is emo still around? A goth, adult, a mimbo, right? The eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase. And what I am formulated, sprawling on a pin. So he's referring to what was popular at the time, collecting bugs, and you would pin them into a piece of fabric in a book or a board. So he feels pinned, like he's being studied, and a formulated phrase is being put on him. When I am pinned and wriggling on the wall, then how should I begin to spit out all the butt ends of my days in ways? A butt end, when you smoke a cigarette and you wind up with, this poem kind of turns my stomach because it's just so mildly disgusting. The butt end, to spit out all the butt ends of my days and ways. Is that how you think about your days? They're butt ends? Oh, let's hope not. And how should I presume? And I have known the arms already, known them all, arms that are braceleted in white and bare, but in the lamplight downed with light brown hair. So he's thinking of all the women's arms. You know, in this time period, women are wearing sleeveless dresses, and you can see their arms. Ooh, yeah. But you know what? He nitpicks like he thinks they nitpick him. Oh, but in the lamplight, you can see a little hair on their arms. Oh, you know, who'd want to date them? It is perfume from a dress that makes me so digress. Arms that lie along a table or wrap around a shawl. And should I then presume? And how should I begin? So Prufrock needs a line here, right? Prufrock needs a pickup line. Hey, you come here often? Hey, nice shoes. Where do I know you from? So Prufrock is trying to work up the courage, right, to speak to a woman. But he just, here's his effort at it. Prufrock, you can do better than this. Shall I say, I have gone at dusk through narrow streets and watched the smoke that rises from the pipes of lonely men in shirt sleeves leaning out of windows. I should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across the floors of silent seas. Prufrock? No, you shouldn't say that. That's not probably going to get you anywhere. I do like this. This is one of my favorite images in the poem. I should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across the floors of silent seas. Because how do crabs move, right? Crabs move. Crabs walk side to side, right? They don't go forward, they don't go backwards, they just go left, they go right. I mean, that's how they get places, so Prufrock can't move forward, he's just going back and forth. In the afternoon, the evening sleeps so peacefully, smoothed by long fingers, asleep, tired, or it malingers, bad lingering, mal-lingers. Stretched on the floor here beside me, should I, after tea and cakes and ices, have the strength to force the moment to a crisis? But though I have wept and fasted, wept and prayed, though I've seen my head grown slightly bald, hey, why does it keep bringing that up? Bald, brought in upon a ladder. Footnote, the head of the prophet John the Baptist, who was killed at the behest of Princess Salome, was brought to her on a platter. So now he's like grandiose, you know. Am I John the Baptist? Is my head going to be brought in on a platter? So now he's like, oh no, Prufrock, it's not that big a deal. Just talk to her. But no, he's bringing in all these great allusions to Western culture and literature and Christianity here. He's over grandiosing. He's making this way. He's hyper. Yeah, you know, he's grandifying it. I just gotta do that again. Have I the strength to force the moment to a crisis? But though I've wept and fasted, wept and prayed, though I've seen my head grown slightly bald, hey, brought in upon a platter, I'm no prophet and here's no great matter. I've seen the moment of my greatness flicker. Oh my God. The moment of your greatness, right? Have you had your moment of greatness yet? And it flickered. Your moment of greatness should burn bright, right? It should put people's eyes out. I've seen the moment of my greatness flicker. And I've seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker. And in short, I was afraid. The eternal footman is, the watcher, the person coming to take you. It is death. It is death. Not necessarily death with the sickle in the hood, just another version of death. And he's getting snickered at. Oh. And would it have been worth it after all, after the cups, the marmalade, the tea, among the porcelain, among some fine talk of you and me? Would it have been worthwhile to have bitten off the matter with a smile, to have squeezed the universe into a ball, to roll it towards some overwhelming question, to say, I am Lazarus, come from the dead. Is he the walking dead? Is he a zombie? Come back to tell you all, I shall tell you all. If one settling a pillow by her head should say, that is not what I meant at all. That is not it at all. So he's getting himself pumped up here, right? Am I Lazarus? So he's been dead in a way, the eternal footman. He couldn't come up with anything to say. But he's Lazarus, right? Brought back from the dead. Come back to tell you, shall I tell you all? And then he just imagines some woman he's talking to and she says, that's not what I meant at all. That is not it at all. So he's worried about not understanding. He's worried about saying, having a conversation with a woman, and he replies to her, and she's like, that's not what I meant at all. That's not it at all. Hey, so what, right? But he's fearful of misunderstanding a woman, and that she'll call him out on it. Would it have been worth it after all? Would it have been worthwhile after the sunsets and the dooryards and the sprinkled streets, after the novels, after the teacups, after the skirts, the trail along the floor, and this and so much more? It's impossible to say just what I mean, but as if a magic lantern threw the nerves and patterns on a screen. Would it have been worthwhile if one settling on a pillow or throwing off a shawl and turning toward the window should say, that is not it at all. That is not what I meant at all. So if that happens, will it have been worth talking to her? Sure, Prufrock. No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. Now, why Hamlet, right? Why is he talking Hamlet here? Why not Macbeth or King Lear? Well, Hamlet's the prince of indecision, right? The most famous line, say it, Simon, in Hamlet. That's right. To be or not to be, that is the question. And then Hamlet goes on and on and on. So Hamlet, well known until the end of the play for his indecision, And of course, that is Prufrock's problem here. So Prufrock isn't even Prince Hamlet. No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. Am an attendant lord. One that will do to swell a progress, start a scene or two. So, those sort of side characters in Shakespeare and other plays with lots of characters. Somebody comes in and delivers a message, makes a pronouncement, just to move a scene forward, right? Just to move a scene forward. They're not going to do anything great. Their character doesn't develop. He's saying that's who he is. Who are you? Are you the star of your own life? Are you the star of your own life? Well, you should be, at least of your own life, right? I don't think that's a self-centered thing to ask for. Or are you just an attendant lord, right? You're just there, a bit player in someone else's life. There you go, bud. I just like that part. I won't do that again. No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. Am an attendant lord, one that will do to swell a progress, start a scene or two. Advise the prince, no doubt, an easy tool. All right, I want to get back to tool there, okay? I want to get back to tool. So I'm going to just cut this one just a smidge short here. We're just around the 10-minute mark, and we'll move on to part 3, the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock.